for a 3-volume series titled The Kolkata Diaries. I would like to ask our esteemed authors to speak a few words. The series is based on the varied urban lives and their corresponding stories and poems. From out of hundreds of applications. Okay, so right after the cover launch, we will invite.
And congratulations to all the co-authors of the book. I am feeling very much excited to read out my story here. It's a story of a couple, but it is not a traditional love story. It's an unrequited love story. This story is happening within a car actually, and someone is driving a car, and actually the protagonist is driving a car, and she was remembering all the event from the past. So I'm just reading a part.
I am Barnali Vasu. My story has been published in the volume 3 of Kolkata Diaries. It is actually based on a real life incident. This is an actual incident which took place, and it really intrigued me because as the co-author before me has also told that especially in the 2 years of COVID that have passed now, fate is already making us realize that life is a very precious entity and we have to strive as much as we want to preserve it. But sometimes fate itself produces such absurd ironies which this incident shows. And it intrigued me enough to put it in my own words. It is a story about a youth who was driven to desperate measures. I'm going to read a portion of the story. He watched his portly, wealthy neighbor drop the briefcase in the dustbin from his hiding place at the exact time. Not a minute before or after. A good threat always hits home. He gave a triumphant laugh. There was not a soul in sight around. The place was known to him since ages with his night shift routes. But he didn't want to take any chances, so he observed the seconds as the figure looked around and then receded from the place, almost as an actor leaving the stage from the spotlight on a cue. 61, 62, 63, 64. He realized he was actually counting his heartbeat. His breath was knocking on his ribs, thundering in symphony. His palms were suddenly all clammy. There was no one around. The dustbin was beckoning to him, shimmering, as if it were the actual treasure itself, not the one within it, in the overhead streetlight. Yet, he could feel a pull, a definite tug on his hand in the opposite direction, as he reclined against the dark compound wall. Beads of perspiration sliding on his face, he slowly turned his head behind to find nothing but the all-pervading darkness. His heart was beating even harder now, almost shrieking. His ears were ringing. A mild, meek voice seemed to be calling out from a distance, telling him to turn back, run off. This was Bhalla uncle, who was always seen at the Diwali party with a cheerful grin and a plate of sweets ready. He had played football with his son in childhood and taught him mathematics during his boards. His daughter used to tie him Rakhi till their teenage years. He would have lent him the money had he asked. Did he really need to cheat him? When it comes to money, nobody is your own. He gave a twisted smile. Who would know this better than him? The amount was large, massacres had happened for less. Besides, even if he had lent him the money in any wildest twist in the universe, how on earth could he have returned it? He shakingly took a step and the pull seemed greater. Something was not right. This was too easy. He had got the money in 2 steps. Was it this simple? So, had he committed any crime before to know how difficult it is? He was struggling with the counters, but bringing himself to a firm stance spoke. They do say, anything is simple in this world if you set your mind to it. Also, he had got the money in 2 steps. If nothing, he couldn't let the first one go to waste. This was the truth. Once in, there was no backing out. He broke in a run, more to block the train of thoughts than the actual eagerness of meeting his goal. Actually, not the goal, but its most prominent part, but even that needed to be confirmed. He could wait no longer. He had enough of waiting. He rushed towards the gleaming black bag. It was wedged deep in between the smelly refuse, but that was no matter for him. He lunged at the bag and pulled it down the trash bin. Once on the ground, he stared at it, heart pounding in excitement like a wolf at a large carcass. He tore open the zipper and gazed at the gathered 2,000 notes in utter joy. He wanted to laugh out loudly, fling those pieces of paper in the air, and watch in wonder as they settled like snowflakes on a December night. He only touched them in an effort to get a hold. It still felt so unreal. Could it still be a trap? He picked up one banded bundle and ruffled it. All the notes were genuine. The smell of freshly minted cash tingled at his nostrils. Abandoning all caution, he started to lift each bundle and look furtively. If this has made you curious to know what caused this person to act like this and what happened after, do reach for your nearest copy and read further. Thank you.
Hello everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Sharbaji Chaudhary, Professor of St. Xavier's College, Bardhaman, and I'm also an author by passion. So my story, Light and Shadow Play of Love, has been recognized by Ukiyoto publishers. This story is a love story, a story of heartbreak, but the identity of I is something very mysterious. I would read from the last part of the story, and I will leave it to my readers to find out the identity of I. I saw the man walking in all dressed in black and smiling his wicked grin. I couldn't believe the man who was about to rape me was going to marry the girl I loved. I saw him walking to her, pulling her by hand to slap her hard on the face. Nikita was so taken aback with the impact of the slap that she fell to the ground. Her beautiful gown wasn't pearly white anymore. She screamed, "This woman is a lesbian, a down-to-filth creature. She believes I will marry her." I saw the crowd taken by shock. Some started laughing, some felt pity. He slapped her again and said she loved some girl and now is clinging to me only for money. Such a gold digger. I couldn't hear them clearly, but I could see her sobbing incessantly. I could feel her sadness. I wanted to protect the love of my life from such shame, but I refrained. Yes, I refrained. And I stood there and saw her getting humiliated. I saw everyone leaving while she lay on the sand. And even her best friend was not there for her. I knew how gross and humiliated she felt. My heart wanted to reach out to her and protect her from the pain. But my mind said she deserved the pain. I didn't know how to function. I stood there for a few more minutes and left the place. And while returning, there were no tears, only peace, to see revenge being served with a heart still willing to help her. This war between heart and brain is the worst. I know it's not easy, but I will figure out how to process and function. As soon as I reached my home, I got a text from an unknown number. It read, "I need you, Param." Thank you so much.
Good afternoon to all of you. I am feeling privileged to be here and thanks to Team Ukiyoto. I would like to congratulate all my co-authors of Kolkata Diaries. It was pleasure to listen the wisdom words from Brigadier Chaudhary. Thank you very much, sir. Brigadier Mukherjee. Sorry. So it was nice to be here. My plan was something different, but since we listen here a lot about the corona, and my story in this Kolkata Diaries, Deja Vu, is something with this. And incidentally, I am a surgeon, author, and public health consultant. So you can understand that I was very much engaged in throughout this corona pandemic. And that creates a lot of things inside me as a doctor, as an author. Most of my writings are in the field of the science, neurobiology, and public health. But public health in itself creates a lot of stories. So this deja vu was something about this book, something about related to story that was inculcated in this book, the year 2020, the corona and chaos. So the first 10 people will get this book free here from our desk, and the diaries. So I mean to say that the signed copies. So what is in this book is in this poem, and this poem is about the corona. So it goes like this. ये हिंदी में पोएम है। हर शहर की बोझिल शामों में, सशंकित सुबह और आतंकित दोपहर में, कुछ टूटती सांसों और कुछ संभलती बातों में, खौफ एक सा था, खौफ एक सा था मेरे तेरे हम सब इंसानों के जज्बातों में। तुम कहीं रहो हम कहीं रहे हैं, झोपड़ी में या महलों में, वो तेरे करीब था वो वायरस, वो तेरे करीब था तो मेरे करीब भी, मेरे मंदिर में तो तेरी मस्जिद या गिरजों में, वो सर्वव्यापी बन घूम रहा था हमारी सभ्यता के चबूतरों और चौपालों में, शहरों के आलिशान इलाकों में, भरे पेट रसाई चिंताओं में तो भूखे पेट घबराई आशंकाओं में, मौत की नित नई गिनती में, याद करिए वो दिन, मौत की नित नई गिनती में और बढ़ती बीमारी के आंकड़ों में, वो खौफ महामारी का तेरा भी था और मेरा भी, वो खौफ महामारी का तेरा भी था और मेरा भी। हम कहीं भी हों, चीन, भारत या जापान में, इटली, अमेरिका या पाकिस्तान में, वो सब ऊंची दीवारें जो तुमने और मैंने गढ़ी थी बड़े जतन से तेरे और मेरे बीच में, धर्म की और देश की, रंग की और वर्ग की, ऊंच और नीच, ऊंच की और नीच की, ईर्ष्या और द्वेष की, वाद और विवाद की, मैंने बचने के लिए तुमसे और तुमने बचने के लिए मुझसे। बहुत नाज था हमें अपनी ऊंची होती दीवारों पर, बहुत नाज था हमें अपनी ऊंची होती दीवारों पर, यंत्रों और हथियारों के जखीरों पर, मेरी और तुम्हारी मारामारी पर। सब बेकार कर गया एक विषाणु, सब बेकार कर गया एक विषाणु, जब महामारी बन फैल गया था विश्व में। सब कैद थे घरों में, सब कैद थे घरों में और हर चेहरे पर नकाब था, आंखों में तैरती मायूसी और फासलों में रहने को मजबूर थे इंसानियत के खौफ की लकीरें, और भूखे पेट डर से कांपती रोती बिलखती आवाजें, अस्पतालों के विभत्स दृश्य और इंसानियत की लाचार कोशिशें। और उसमें मौत का बेखौफ तांडव और उसमें उपजती निराशाएं, और वहीं कहीं उगती आशा की नई किरणें। विषाणु बहुत छोटा सा बौना कर गया था मेरे और तेरे घमंड को, हमारी ऊंची दीवारों को, आत्ममुग्ध मानवता के वहशी जज्बातों को, मानवीय दर्प की खोखली साजिशों को। रह गई थी बस एक होड़ बचने और जान बचाने की। फिर भी हम लड़ेंगे, फिर भी हम लड़ेंगे, गिरेंगे और फिर उठ खड़े होंगे। महामारियां बहुत आई हैं हमारी सभ्यताओं के इतिहास में और हारती रही हैं मानवीयता के जोश में। जीत यहाँ भी सुनिश्चित है मनुष्य की और उसके मनुष्यत्व की, क्योंकि पीड़ा इस खौफ की हमारी सारी दीवारों के इधर भी है और उधर भी, क्योंकि पीड़ा इस खौफ की, क्योंकि पीड़ा इस खौफ की हर तरफ है हमारी सारी दीवारों के इधर भी और उधर भी। दीवारें जो बनाई थी बचने को खौफ से बहुत बेमानी सी लग रही हैं आज वे इस प्रकोप में। कुछ दीवारें टूट जाएं अगर
तो तुम्हारे रोशन दिए मेरे यहाँ रोशन कर दें, और मेरे यहाँ की हवा तुम्हें कुछ सुकून दे दे। तेरी खुशियाँ मैं देख लूँ और मेरे आंसू तू देख ले, यही बड़ी जीत होगी तुम्हारे और मेरे मनुष्यत्व की। लगता है दीवारें बहुत बन गई थी मेरे और तेरे बीच में, मानवता बंट गई थी कृत्रिमता के खांचों में। पर ये सत्य है कि तेरे और मेरे बीच में एक ही रिश्ता टिकता है जिससे हम इंसानियत कहते हैं, और भूल जाते हैं अक्सर अपने वादों और विवादों में, अपनी अपनी दीवारों में कैद, कुंठित और घृणित विचारों में। जब कुछ दीवारें टूटेंगी इस महामारी के दौर में, वहीं पर असली विजय होगी तेरी भी और मेरी भी, मनुष्य की और उसके मनुष्यत्व की, मनुष्य की और उसके मनुष्यत्व की। ये याद हमको नहीं भूलनी चाहिए। एंड द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ दैट स्टोरी, you can read deja vu, again that is some kind of my research work in spiritual health. So you can read deja vu in Kolkata Diaries, and this book, the year 2020, the Corona and Chaos, is available on Amazon. So thank you very much. Thank you for patience here.
Everyone, it's always a privilege to be part of such literature and literary event, and I think it's the third time for me. Thank you, Ukiyoto. It's always been a pleasure to be part of this publishing journey of yours, and I think it's almost 2 years I'm with you, so thankful. Thank you very much. Just a small introduction of me, won't take much time. I am actually working in an IT firm, but these books have all been a passion for me right from my childhood. My parents had brought me or given me so much of exposure to books, but thinking of writing my own book was never a dream before, though I had some snippets and all written. But then when Ukiyoto, especially Indranilda, who's my college senior, yeah, he encouraged me to do so, and I started working on some of my pieces. And I mainly started writing a novel and then some poems, and I'm very much thankful to be part of the Kolkata Diaries. So when the name came up, the Kolkata Diaries, the one word which caught my attention was Kolkata, because I've been born here, not brought up here completely, but my college days and my professional life is now centered around Kolkata. And though there are flaws in every city, but Kolkata, when I actually meet my friends, when I actually do travel and food blogging, so when I meet the bloggers outside Calcutta or outside the world, in different countries, they don't know much about Kolkata. The culture, the heritage, the art, culture, they don't know much about it. They question, like, there are so many things here, they are surprised when they see us do so much travel articles and food articles. So that's why I wanted to write something about Kolkata, not in form of a story, but form of a poem that will look like a story to them, talking about many parts and many aspects of Kolkata. And that's what I tried to do, because I love this city very well, and I want to stay here as long as I can. So I started with a sort of talking about what we normally, people outside, they hear about Kolkata. It's crowded streets, the bustling of the honks, the cacophony of sounds that ring around my city, Kolkata. Yet, there is a precious legend embedded in its tranquil soul. I call Kolkata having some tranquility and serenity within its heart, within its core. Love and affection are in treasure. You talk about any musician, you talk about any people, the moment they come to Kolkata, talk about any authors, any poets, they come to Kolkata, the love and affection you get out of this city is immense, and I wanted to highlight that. So love and affection are its treasure, bonding and warm, it's deserved to be cherished. That's how I love my city.
There are so many things around this city which I wanted to point out, and especially its art and culture. Like, we are also gathered over here in the presence of some very esteemed authors and poets, and I'm really glad to be here. So precious is its art and culture, portraying life and nature in myriad forms, emerging out from the innovative minds. So if you capture the minds of the people around here, the intellects over here, you can see so lot of innovations coming out. So we should appreciate those innovations that should be known to the outside world. So emerging out from the innovative minds and the skill of so many people, artists, sculptors, painters, craftsmen, there are so many people around here. So I love this city in this way too. And we should not forget sweets in Kolkata, so very delectable, so very delicious. I wanted to point out that. It's a small thing maybe to a person who is doing great in their life, but that is what is precious to all of us. I hear my friends or any of my colleagues who come here over in Kolkata, and they ask me, where should I get a good sweet shop? We should take some sandesh with us. So obviously I cannot leave that part. So sweets, oh, how can I miss them? The delectable taste, the mind-blowing aroma, savoring foodies in every way. And then coming to shopping, we cannot forget that. So anywhere you visit a city, you do not do shopping, you do not purchase something, you do not carry any memoirs or gifts. That is completely, it's incomplete. So hopping and shopping, exploring the stalls and the malls, draping in a traditional attire, twining with its exquisite culture. I love the traditional dress of Kolkata, and hope you also like wherever you are, from whichever part you are in India or in the world. And so I wanted to talk about that also. And lastly, I won't take much time. So even if I get a chance to settle anywhere outside this city, or maybe some outside world, I do get options, but I never thought of that. It's only temporary for me. My permanent residence has always been in this city and will always be there in this city. So ending it, multitude of choices may come as a boon, but my wish is undeterred to be born again and again in the city of joy, Kolkata. Thank you so much.
Glad to be here and with all of you today. First of all, I would like to thank Ukiyoto for giving me the opportunity to have published with them, and always have been supporting me with like an amateur author like me. Professionally, I'm a history professor. I'm not from Kolkata, I'm from Pune, and I've come all the way here to be here. I have a submission in the Kolkata Diaries also, volume 1, and like I think most of them, it's not a fictional story, it's not a short story, it's an essay. So I was here I've been here earlier, maybe as a child, I have no memory of, but I was here last in 2017 when I had to attend a history seminar in Jadavpur University. Learned as a history professor also, coming to the food, and I think the point was very rightly mentioned, because I've also written something similar in my essay. It's an essay, like I just mentioned. It's titled Kolkata Memoirs. So I'm just going to read the introduction, the first few lines, and the last few lines of the essay, and obviously the rest will be that has not been said earlier. The food, the music, the culture, the heritage, the history, the philosophy, the films, and the people. Kolkata is not within me, but it has always been a part of me. Be it from the influence of its food and culture on my maternal origins, my family is right here, and to my close friends, my crush, or even my best friend who belongs to the city. My first visit to Kolkata, like I mentioned, it was in 1989 as a kid, which I have no memory of. But my recent visit was in 2017 when I had to attend a seminar in Jadavpur University. The best thing about the city, if you ask me, honestly, above everything, was the food. I am a foodie, most prominently, and Kolkata is just my type of city. People love their food and they love to eat. From streets to fancy restaurants with a variety of color and tastes, ranging from vegetarian to non-vegetarian, and I being a hardcore non-vegetarian. Having so many dishes available, I fell in love with the city. From the snacks to the wraps, to the rolls, to the main course, and to end with pan, all appetizing to the taste buds. It's not the city that one visits or heads to McDonald's and KFC to eat. I was most impressed on this front. Those who love to eat might not have the healthiest of hearts, but they do have the jolliest of hearts. I fit in with that completely, and no wonder I fell in love with the city. So thank you, and once again, very much grateful for this opportunity. Also, Ukiyoto has been it's the publisher of my debut novel, which is right there. So if you're interested, please do check it out. Thank you so much.
We have the Best Writer Award for the Kolkata Diaries. Yes, the Best Writer Award for the Kolkata Diaries, and it goes to Ms. Shonkolita Ray. Please put your hands together for her.
That I would be receiving this gift today from Ukiyoto. It was really shocking, and yes, coming to this function before my exams, it's really worth. Thank you very much.